Hey everybody, this is Brad Dyke saying hi. This is back to my logistics video series of how I'm rebuilding my environment so I can do my labs a little bit more effectively and so on. And as part of that, I have a little bit of a surprise. This is my surprise. And as you can see, I got to keep walking back. It's big. But what it is a very large automotive rolling cabinet. There it is. So I'm going to free this box up, expose this unit, and it's in conjunction to my other toolkit, which is over here, which we're in the process of outfitting. But now I finally have the second tool cabinet, so now I can start separating these environments completely from each other. So all the heavy duty tools in automotive will go here, and all of the IT and woodworking stuff will go here. You notice that it has a wooden top on it. And the reason for that is because if you want to put like a vice grip on there, you need the wood surface to properly fasten it down fairly well. Anyways, it's valuable habit. So with that being said, by having this in play, I'm going to be able to reduce my garage even more and get a lot more square footage available. Then that will allow me to go into the lab, which is in there, and pull out most of my stuff. And of course, not the racks. The racks are operational, so I've got them running. But that will allow me to be able to do what I need to do in regards to continuing to produce videos to help you guys to get familiar with new technologies and all that good stuff. So stand by for a minute here while I take the straps off and we can expose this bad boy. Okay, so the last 10 minutes, all I was doing was I took the straps off of the box and using my scissors here, and I cut them into little pieces because you can't recycle these graphite slash polymer straps. So what you do is you cut them in little pieces and you put them in the trash. I hate to do that, but they're not recyclable. So you have to, get them under control, because when you cut those things, they go all over the place, and you try to wind them up, and in a nutshell, it ends up going all over the place yet again. And so I just use my trusty little work scissors here, and I just cut them up into little sections that neatly go into the trash can. Obviously, my cardboard will go into the recycle bin, or if I have too much of it, I'll use it for helping me with my wood pile, starting fires and stuff like that. So the next goal here is to use my Thrifty Harbor Frieght knife. It's big, and I'll use that to release the cardboard on the side. And this is a lift cardboard. If you look down on the bottom, once I clear these, I should be able to let this fall off to the side. So we're going to do that now, and it should expose the actual unit itself. And it's going to have like piles and piles and piles of styrofoam. But what I'm hoping is that these wheels on the bottom are already mounted. I'm hoping. I really, really, really am hoping, because this is going to be a real pain in the butt to take a 300-pound cabinet and lay it on its backside, put the wheels on, then try to get it back up in the air. But we'll see here what it looks like in just a minute. Hang on. Okay, I think that as I started to show you this, I wanted to make sure you understood why I have this knife this way and how safely to use the knife, a razor knife like this, in such a format, because of the nature of it being able to cut you, right? So I want to be safe, and I do want you guys to be careful and understand the nature of this knife, and when it is okay to fully extend the knife's capacity like you saw me do. Now, the extension of the knife itself, like this, allows you to get into what's called a flush fit cut, which is not going to be a problem because of the fact that it's a flat. See how I do it here like this? And it keeps it away from the actual product inside. And also works very well, so when you open this up, right, you will have these edges here, like right here. And having the straight edge out down that section allows you to avoid cutting into the actual tool itself. See how I'm doing this? So if you look at how the blade is set. I press it against the cardboard, and it keeps it flush and away from the product. And you cannot do that with the blade being short, and you run the risk of putting a terrible cut into your product. Now the good news is if you look there, there's wood right there, which means I'm going to have a bonfire. And then over here, I'm going to do the same thing again, but this is double set, double taped. So you have to be careful about this one because it's thicker. And so it tends to cause you to get out of control and your cut will not work. So just take your time cutting down all the way down. And keep it flush with cardboard. Ta-da! And here we have the open side, and I was correct. See right there? Wheels. Excellent. That means it's not going to be too difficult to get this off and get it freestanding. Now I'm going to have to spend a little bit of time unboxing this. I'm not going to film that part, but I'll just need a couple minutes. Now this is the 56-inch by 22-inch double bank rolling cabinet for automotive tools by US General, right there. And this is its label. I purchased it at Harbor Frieght, and it has side packing with styrofoam, and it has wood corners for reinforcement with styrofoam in them here. As you can see, there's this styrofoam insert, and these fit on the corner. And then on the top, you have a small thin piece of wood here to act also as a buffer. And it's very thin, by the way. Along with cardboard corners, like this, hard cardboard, high compression, to offer more protection to the unit as it goes around the unit for shipping. And there's another piece of square off cardboard, and I'll put this wood over here. And I'll put this over here with this other piece, as you can see. And then, of course, I have the styrofoam. So we'll put that off to the side as well. And the good news about the styrofoam, as what I discovered with my 46-inch, I had to use the styrofoam to lay the chest down to put the wheels on. That's why I did not want to do that with this monster of a unit at all. So with that being the case, I've got pretty good protection now. I'm going to move that off there. And I'm going to move these two things off to the side as well. Just for now. Obviously I'll have to miniaturize and cut this up into little tiny pieces, like for instance how I did with the first enclosure, which by the way is also from Harbor Frieght. It's called a Yukon, the 46 by 18-inch depth, and it does pretty well. But as you can see, I turned it into little tiny cuts of cardboard, which took about an hour or so. And I'm going to have to end up doing that with this as well, because you can only use so much cardboard, and this is pretty flimsy stuff anyway, so I'm not too impressed with saving it for like painting or something like that. So it comes with a plastic shroud on it, which we will get that. And then now we've got a nice vinyl set top, which is a mat. That's nice. I like how that sets. And I have to make sure that is in good shape. And we've got the key sets. And I should have a release lock for the key set. So we will go ahead and get that in play. Come on. Well, that's really persistent, isn't it? There we go. All right. So, put that guy in and unlock it. And then we'll see about... There we go. And inside are pre-matted. So they have their mats inside them. And this allows you to be able to have a nice, good depth. And so when I put the socket holders and other things like that into this, the US General footprint, it's going to give me a lot of flexibility and functionality. Now there's an interlock on it. I'll show you where that is. The interlock is always to the far right of the set, which is right here. So when you grab it, you have to release that lock, and it clicks back in. Same way with the next drawer down. Here it click. And then again, and that basically it allows you to basically control the nature. Of course, that's locked. Hang on a second. Okay, so as you can see here, I have them both open and they're deep socket trays. They've got nice protection on the bottom to help keep things kind of clean. There is also ventilation. Yes, you can have issues about air circulation and cause condensation buildup inside. So good air circulation is important. And as you can see, it's all in all pretty nice. I'm pleased with it. This makes me happy. So of course I've got to get it off the wood platform, and then I've got to cut that wood platform up. But I'll tell you more as I get there on how well this is going to work out for me. I think when it comes to the keys, at home you probably will never lock your toolkit. But professionally, absolutely. You should keep your keys on hand, and if you're a professional mechanic or you have it's part of your profession in your industry or whatever, make sure that you lock your unit up. So I have basically 3 different kinds of tool chests. I've got a 30-year-old tool chest, which is a Craftsman. I consider that a scale of 1 to 10. I call it the standard, which is a 4. And then I have the Yukon over here, which I give it about a 6.5, maybe a 7. And the US General, I give it an 8. Now, 10 being a snap-on is $7,000 to $8,000. Well, I paid $1,000, just short of $1,000 for the US General, and I paid about $380 for the Yukon. So you do basically buy the value that which you get. So with that being said, and appreciating and understanding that, the key detail here is that all in all, it's a good investment. I recommend these tool chests for the working man and those who are trying to save money but need the capacity and the spacing and so on. It's a good choice. So it's got my endorsement. Both the Yukon and the US General tool cabinets. This is Brad Dyke signing off, and this particular video again was about reorganizing myself, getting myself structured. Remember, guys and gals, when you're doing your IT stuff, you're not a kid in college anymore, or maybe you are a kid in college coming out getting ready to become a professional. You can have a messy life, but when it comes to your profession, you need to get your act together. Structure it, clean it, functionalize it, get it in a good flowing format. Not so it looks pretty, but that it's practical. It doesn't have to be highly organized or anything like that, but it does need to be practical. Take that time, because that discipline will come back and give you 2 times more value down the road when you start to deal with other people's belongings that they want to pay you to take care of. So this is Brad Dyke. I'm signing off. Next couple of videos will be again back into the logical sense of IT and, of course, the physical hardware side. God bless. Take care, and